You've heard of the bystander effect, the placebo effect.
You know what a placebo is, Eddie? It's water, Eddie. Water with a squirt of camphor to make it taste like medicine.
But what about the Dolly effect? Dolly Parton has the most magnetic personality around, even if they don't teach you that in science class. From Nashville to New Zealand, everybody knows Dolly. And it seems like Dolly Parton knows everybody. Hard rockers, movie stars, senators. Dolly's good friends with all. In fact, Dolly's friends are so famous that some are now saying there is a Dolly effect. They're claiming that many of Dolly's close friends became and stayed famous because of Dolly Parton's influence. So, okay, is this really true? Today we're heading into the lab to test the chemistry of Dolly Parton's famous friendships. Did she really make her friends famous? Or is it the other way around? And did she ever hook up with any of these experiments? You know, Kenny Rogers or Billy Ray Cyrus. From sleazy tabloid rumors to shocking truths, we're gonna find out just how real the Dolly effect is. But before we put on our goggles, please hit that thumbs up icon to show our channel some support. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our latest release. So I hope you're now done with your 9 to 5 as we tune in and go find out.
What happened?
Billy Ray Cyrus. Although he's best known today for the line dance sensation Achy Breaky Heart, Billy Ray Cyrus has had a long and complicated career.
Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think you'd understand.
But did you actually know Dolly Parton was a huge part of it? Were they ever a couple? And what role did Dolly play in Miley Cyrus's life? Let's find out. So how bad was Billy Ray Cyrus doing in the late 1980s? Well, he wasn't living in his car because he didn't have one. He was living in his friend's car. I mean, that's probably a sign you need to give up on your rock star dreams, right? Well, lucky for him, everything changed in 1990 when Billy Ray finally landed a record deal. And in 1992, he released an album with a little song called Achy Breaky Heart. Oh, maybe you've heard of it. The song brought line dancing from the barn into the mainstream, and it also made Billy Ray boatloads of cash. But Achy Breaky Heart seemed like a prime candidate for a one-hit wonder. It's hard to be a touring musician off the strength of one song. But something unexpected happened. Dolly Parton took him on tour. Yeah, I'd say that's probably a good sign, right? Well, Dolly's support was a blessing and a curse. It took no time at all for all the tabloids to declare that the two of them were hooking up. Billy Ray felt horrible about this and went to Dolly to apologize. And here's what happened. Well, she looked at him right in the eyes and said, quote, "Honey, that bleep sells records." The two went on to work together on the song Romeo, and they have been great friends ever since. Now there is one catch. Many people do consider Billy Ray to be a one-hit wonder, as he never reached the peaks of his smash single again. But his second album did well enough to make another boatload of money. Enough that he could pivot to another side of the entertainment world. When Billy Ray had his daughter Miley, Dolly became a godmother, and she went on to guide her through the difficult music business. She even played a small recurring role on Hannah Montana. I mean, is there anything Dolly Parton can't do? Jane Fonda. I'm sure we all have Fonda memories, very fond memories of Jane Fonda in the 1980s. And okay, I'm not getting political here, I'm not going before that. Today, I'm talking about the incredible film 9 to 5. The movie they starred in alongside Lily Tomlin. But do you know the story of how the two met? Or the lesson Dolly taught Jane that would forever change her life? Jane and Dolly met when Jane Fonda cast Dolly for her upcoming film 9 to 5. Dolly was a star at this point, but she'd never been in a film before. And while, yeah, some singers turn out to be great actors, sometimes the risk doesn't pay off. Remember Rihanna in Battleship? No, I don't either. Or J-Lo in Geely. I mean, serious stinkers. But Dolly Parton is of course Dolly Parton, and even untrained, she knew she was holding all the cards. She accepted the role, but only if she could write the theme song. Jane Fonda agreed and expected Dolly to get some of the best songwriters in a room and hash it out. But things went a bit differently. Dolly came to set one morning, called Jane over and said, "I've just written the song." And she used her long fingernails as a washboard and sang 9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely.
From that moment on, there was no way the movie could fail. 9 to 5 simply proved that Dolly Parton could do anything, and also that Jane still had star power. But Dolly also helped Jane with more than just business. She taught her a valuable lesson. You see, Jane was doing research for her upcoming film, The Doll Maker, in which she was going to play a Kentucky hillbilly. The only problem, Jane Fonda is about as far from a hillbilly as you can get. She grew up a rich New Yorker with an actor dad and a socialite mom. And Jane's dad hadn't exactly been a man of the people. He was so removed from his fans that he used to run away whenever somebody would ask for an autograph. So, she asked the only hillbilly she knew. Yeah, Dolly Parton. Not exactly a hillbilly, but still. She asked Dolly to take her on a tour of rural America and show her the ropes. So yeah, you can thank Dolly Parton for Jane Fonda's fine performance in The Doll Maker. Kenny Rogers. Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers go together like peanut butter and jelly, bacon and eggs, macaroni and cheese. Boy, I'm getting hungry for some reason.
Hungry.
And it's hard to imagine a more perfect song than Islands in the Stream.
We can ride it together.
Making love with each other.
But not everybody knows how Dolly helped create Kenny's career. But were they ever a couple? Now, Kenny Rogers wasn't always the heartthrob country star he would eventually become. He got his start in a more psychedelic rock folk band. Their best hit was Just Dropped In to See What Condition My Condition Was In. You might know the song from the best Coen Brothers film, The Big Lebowski. And okay, I hear you Fargo fans, it's incredible too. But Dolly, on the other hand, was well established as the queen of country music. She had just released the film and the song 9 to 5. And between 1981 and 85, Dolly had 12 top 10 hits, an average of 2 each year. The natural thing would be for Dolly to pair with a superstar, an established one at that. But when she heard Kenny's single, she was so intrigued. She reached out to the kind of unknown performer, and they put together a little tune called Islands in the Stream. They worked closely together over the following years, putting out tons of hits and even a great Christmas album. But outside the studio, they became fast friends. Very, very close ones. So close, it's led many to believe the two were an item. Now, they have always denied any funny business. When somebody asked Dolly if the two ever canoodled, she said, quote, "Never. It never crossed our minds because he was with people. I've been with my husband for 58 years. But she did admit that she understood the speculation. She said, quote, "That's not to say I'm blind or deaf." Kenny Rogers, for his part, said, quote, "We never consummate anything. We just teased each other about it." Alright, so what do you think? Do you believe Dolly and Kenny when they say nothing happened? Do you believe in the Dolly Parton effect? Or were the people around her just lucky and talented enough to become successful on their own? Finally, what's your favorite song from the Smoky Mountain Songbird? Get in the comments and tell us all things Dolly Parton, all things Billy Ray Cyrus, all things Jane Fonda, and all things Kenny Rogers. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up icon for us. Subscribe to the channel, and come back often so we can keep telling you
What happened?